Let's try with another example. On this one, you're given an angle that's not between 0 and 2 pi. So the best thing, or what I would recommend, is that you find the coterminal angle first. This, once again, remember this is 6 pi over 6. And over here, we're going to have the angle 12 pi over 6. In a way, what you could do is subtract 12 pi over 6 once, but it looks like we can fit it another time. So instead of subtracting 12 pi over 6, we might as well just subtract 24 pi over 6. Oops. 24 pi over 6. And you're going to end up with 5 pi over 6. That's our coterminal angle, and it'll be a lot easier to work with that angle than to work with 29 pi over 6. That's our positive coterminal angle between 0 and 2 pi. So in a way, we subtracted twice 12 pi over 6. Let's write it down over here, 5 pi over 6. That means that if this is 6 pi over 6, we had to stop before getting to this point. Looks like the angle is around here. This is angle 5 pi over 6, or angle 29 pi over 6 if you prefer. Then we know that we're on quadrant number 2. And the reference angle is this one. If we're at 5 pi over 6 and we want to get to 6 pi over 6, the reference angle is going to be pi over 6. Let's write it down. Pi over 6. The signs, we are on the second quadrant. That means that the values on the x-axis are going to be negative, and the values on the y-axis are going to be positive. The signs are negative and positive. Now let's direct our attention to this angle, pi over 6. That means that we're going to be using this reference angle, and in consequence, those values. Let's write those down. Square root of 3 over 2, 1/2. Then let's use the signs that were given to us by the quadrant, negative and positive. Once we know that, we just have to use the given information to write the functions down. Sine is y, this is y, this is x. Y is going to be 1/2, positive 1/2. Cosine is going to be negative square root of 3 divided by 2. And we already divided 1/2 by the square root of 3 over 2, right? It ended as 1 over the square root of 3, and then we had to rationalize. We did the whole drill on the previous example. In a way, this is what's happening here. 1/2 divided by y divided by x. So 1/2 divided by minus the square root of 3 divided by 2. And if you multiply that, at the end, you're going to get minus 1 over the square root of 3. You're going to rationalize that. And finally, the answer is going to be minus the square root of 3 over 3. The answers look very similar to the ones that we had on the previous example, but the signs are going to be a bit different because of the quadrant. So the cosecant is going to be positive, 2 over 1, or just 2 if you prefer. Then on this one, we saw that we're going to end up with minus 2 over the square root of 3, and then we're going to rationalize, and it's going to end up as minus 2 times the square root of 3 over 3. And the cotangent, we're going to flip it, or we're going to do x over y, and then we're going to rationalize, or we could do directly the division if you prefer, x over y, just to give it a twist. Cosine is x, so this is going to be x divided by y, cosine over sine, divided by 1/2. Then you're going to end up with minus the square root of 3 divided by 1. That is basically minus the square root of 3. If you get to this point, if you get to the terminal point, everything else is just a matter of using those values to find the 6 trigonometric functions, but you should focus on those 3. Those 3 are going to lead you to the other 3. It's just a matter of getting here and then knowing which one is x, y, and then figure the reciprocals out based on the 3 basic trigonometric functions.